So everybody, I want to introduce my guest for today. Her name is Brenda. She's part of our mastermind group that I'm the lead teacher on Wednesday nights. Um, Super excited for you to be here. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
From the moment I met you, like honestly, you impressed me so much. Your enthusiasm,
Oh, yours just, yeah, for sure.
yeah, I mean, your
Love it.
ability to jump into crypto, like you knew from the moment we met. It's like, oh my God, we're moving into a new financial system and I need to learn
Yes.
about this.
I've known it for a long time and it's scary,
Right.
very scary.
Right. And that's why we meet, we do
Mm-hmm.
classes every Wednesday night. It's actually called Take Action for Freedom. We put the link down below and we talk about like how important it is to be your own bank. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, yeah. And especially with like yesterday, we had all the spot Bitcoin ETFs get approved. Historic moment of time, So it's kind of like I look at this as we have the government, all corporations, institutions are now starting to adopt not just Bitcoin. Bitcoin's always the first, it's the largest, but we're moving into like a digital asset system,
Yes.
right? And this is
Yeah.
just the beginning. This is
Yeah.
just the beginning. So this morning, of course, like I'm doing research 24/7. So in 30 minutes, $2.3 billion flowed into the
Yes.
spot Bitcoin ETFs.
So crazy.
It's so crazy. It's so validating, right? I mean, being in
Yes.
crypto for a while, they've been fighting this. We've been trying to get a spot Bitcoin ETF approved for over 10 years, and here we are. And it's like Bitcoin is 15 years old. Bitcoin actually turned 15 this month.
Crazy.
So, right. So I look at the dollar's been around for a really long time. If history shows us anything, all fiat currency goes to zero. And here we have Bitcoin, you know? So 15 years old, we're moving forward. I'm so excited to see how this whole thing plays out.
Me too.
Yeah,
Very exciting.
it's super exciting. So tell me, how'd you get into crypto?
Well, it was last summer, and I have a good friend who also has a mastermind, and she was Note Queen, Dawn Rickenbach. And well, okay, you two are both the smartest women I know now. But I'm a real estate investor. Was my, so I just asked her what else she was putting her things into besides notes. And her big thing was that you have to diversify. And it really hit home. And I'm like, because I had sold a home, it was an investment property, and that was in 2020. And I basically just had the money sitting in the bank but I'm so scared it's just going to get wiped out. So that was my big thing. And so I also invest within my retirement. So I took some money and put that into coins but basically diversifying.
I
So
love it. I love it. And it's
yeah,
such a good point. Like this whole thing about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, it's like this doesn't mean like put all your money in on Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's not
right.
like that at all. It's just in such uncertainty. It's so good to diversify because no
Yes,
one's 100% sure,
right.
you know? So, and again, it's kind of like, just looking at the course, over the year, now we have Bitcoin's up, I think about 100 and probably 60% now.
Right.
It's going to be super volatile. But, when I think about the price of Bitcoin in terms of dollars, I would place my bet on Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is growing in value. It is the best performing asset in the last decade. So, I mean, I'm a little biased when it comes to the SEC. They've been protecting investors from being a part of the best performing asset
Right.
over the past decade. Everyone needs to let that sink in.
Right.
And then there's like all these shenanigans, right? Because I'm watching it. We're all waiting to see the spot Bitcoin ETF get approved. And Twitter comes out with the tweet from the SEC's Twitter account or X account. And that the spot Bitcoin was approved. The market shoots up, liquidating all, because most trading is done on leverage, liquidated all the shorts. And then Gary Gensler comes out moments later. The spot Bitcoin ETF was not approved
Not
yet.
approved.
The market goes down and
Mm-hmm.
liquidates all the longs. So
It
then the
was so
next morning,
manipulated.
so manipulated. I mean, so many people were surprised that the market wasn't as volatile. And I was like, well, the SEC wiped it all out.
Yeah. It was very manipulated. The longs and the shorts.
The longs and the
Crazy.
shorts, right? And the SEC has one job
Yeah.
to protect investors. So, I think it's super important, and not to say anything bad about the SEC. I'm all about systems. I'm about government. But if your job is to protect investors, do your job.
Right. If that's
You
the
know,
one job you have.
right.
Yeah.
And I also find it very interesting because, like, we're getting to know each other now. I'm a holder of XRP.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm watching an interview, on mainstream TV, and they're interviewing Valkyrie's chief investment officer. And he basically said, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Ethereum and XRP be the next two listed ETFs.
Oh,
And
I think so too. Yeah,
yeah, but
for
the
sure.
funny thing is, Brenda, like, you don't really see it no one else is even talking about it. No
Yeah.
one talks about XRP
No,
having, digital clarity and all of these things. It's so interesting, the stories and the narrative that comes out of mainstream media,
for sure.
and Ethereum doesn't even have regulation yet. Is it a
Yeah.
commodity? Is it a security? No one
What
knows
is
for
it?
sure. Right.
Yeah.
So I think Congress is going to get some fire under their butts. We got to get a signed bill. And if you're here, we got to reach out to our representatives, our senators, and let them know how we feel. You know
Right.
what I mean? So, you know, when I'm looking at Bitcoin, I'm looking at cryptocurrency, I'm looking at all the different use cases. This is disruptive technology, right? Just like Uber
Yeah.
disrupted taxi cabs and Netflix, disrupted.
Airbnb.
Exactly, right?
So yeah.
And Bitcoin's disrupting the banks. And there's so many different projects within this entire cryptocurrency ecosystem that's going to be disrupting so many facets of business.
Yes.
So it's just very interesting. And I do see in the near future, in the next couple of years, businesses starting to go on the blockchain.
Yes.
They have to for security, right? They need that decentralization. There's so many hacks into the systems. The
Yep.
cybersecurity is not that
Happened
great,
to the SCE.
right? The SEC, because again, Gary comes out with all these tweets.
That was
He's
so crazy.
right, telling us to be protected. This is a speculative asset. Be smart about these things, but you don't even have your staff on a two-factor
Right.
authentication. Who knows if
Right.
that's true or not, too?
Right.
Who knows? I mean,
Right.
should probably do that during orientation when you get set up for your new job. It's the
Right.
first step.
Too funny. For sure.
Right. And that's why it's so important that even though these spot ETFs for Bitcoin, this is a historic moment. It's great news, but you're putting your Bitcoin on centralized exchanges, whether that's the
Yeah.
New York Stock Exchange, in your Fidelity, brokerage account. Those are all centralized. And in times of uncertainty, until we all come together and agree on the new paradigm of how this is all going to work, we got to have money outside the system.
For sure.
Yep. Yep. And you use the Engrave wallet, correct? I helped you
Yes.
set it up.
Yes.
So just share your experience and how did you feel? How did you feel when you became your own bank?
I think that's been my biggest struggle so far, is not being able to know what's happening with my own money and feeling overwhelmed that one day my account might just get shut down, or there might be too much money in there, or they put it on a freeze or anything, because I didn't feel like I had my own control over it. So whatever I've invested, then I put on my, when I buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or all of the coins, I'll put those on my Engrave wallet, and then they're no longer in the brokerage firms.
I love it.
So, and Andrea helped me so much on that. You have the best consultations and anything you want to know.
I appreciate that. I
So,
appreciate that
no,
so much.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Yeah. I
So,
mean, and then I think I shared this with you. It's like the main reason why I kind of transitioned out of IT recruiting is because I saw such a huge change in society back in
yes,
2020. And because I was an IT recruiter for over 20 years, when I look at this technology, it's just like, I could just find you a developer that could build these systems. Like that's my job. So I understand. And the importance of being your own bank, to me, to help people maintain some sovereignty instead of just holding gold or silver, because you can't walk into the grocery store and hand them a
it
gold
was
coin,
a gold.
right? Right. So, but on that point, George Gammon, big macroeconomic guy, he's traveling with his assistant throughout South America, and he only is going to pay for goods and services using Bitcoin, gold, and silver, because I think he wants to make a point. This
Right,
isn't mass adopted yet,
right.
but when Twitter comes out with their payment app at the end of this year, okay, Elon Musk wants this payment app to reach billions of people. I do believe we are going to see integration of cryptocurrencies
Oh,
as
for
well.
sure, for sure.
Absolutely. So, I'm looking at Doge, I'm looking at XLM. We know Elon Musk, he loves Doge.
Oh, yes.
You can already tip your creators using Bitcoin on X. So, and he has a big partnership with Vast.io, which is a low orbiting satellite company. If you actually have a chance, go to vast.io. It'll blow your mind. Their whole
Okay.
mission is to get people to move to Mars.
Okay.
Right. So, intergalactic. I wrote that
Right.
song, like,
Your songs are the best.
right. So, remember the line? It's probably the first song I sent you, like, blockchain's the future of finance.
Uh-huh.
Get XLM tonight. It can go interstellar, like
Yes.
right.
That's my favorite,
So
I think. That's funny.
it's really cool. So, and again, I think it's a good starting point too, because I'm always trying to think about how to help people understand this. Like I'm super techie, but people who aren't, it's like learning a whole new language. It's like learning
Yes.
sign language.
Yes.
My wife is fluent in sign language. And sometimes when I talk to her in crypto, she starts signing to me,
That's funny.
right? To point out like you don't understand me. I don't understand you.
Right. That's funny.
I know. By
Too
the way, she
funny.
wants to send you flowers for being my crypto wife.
Okay. No.
I
Oh, anytime.
love
So
it. I
that's
love it.
awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just like, and again, it's like, I don't even think people have to have this pressure of buying cryptocurrency, but learn about it.
Yes.
I listened to Jerome Powell, the chairman of of our central banking system, right? The Federal Reserve Bank. So Jerome Powell said, we are recovering, our economy is recovering, but we are recovering into a new economy, and that economy is being leveraged on technology.
Yeah. Crazy.
So it's like 24/7. I just dived in, and it's just like, you almost feel like a kid in the candy store, because you see insurance, the way we buy houses,
Yes.
our medical, our financial trading systems, the way we document things. All of these things are totally, everything is moving to the blockchain. And it's so hard not to get so super excited about
Oh, me
all
too.
this.
I'm so excited about it too.
I love it. I love it. So, I mean, it's just so cool. So, out of all the projects that you've been introduced to now, what's one of your favorite ones?
Um, XLM for sure.
Mhm.
Bitcoin, but I
Yeah.
wish I would have bought it. I was trying to buy it within my retirement, so it wasn't the whole tax thing, but I wish I would have bought it at the beginning of the year and I would have been in a much better position. And Ethereum, Chainlink. You've
Yes.
introduced me to some great projects, some really good things. So, um,
I love it. I love it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So,
yours are based on how things are going to work, which is what I love. The contracts, the things behind
right.
the projects you love.
Yeah. It's
So,
like buying the infrastructure, the highways, the
right,
roads of the new system.
right. What do you
Right.
think is going to come up starting like in 2024? Do you have any new projects or
I mean, I
what do you?
think one of the newest projects that I've been talking a lot about is Meld.
Oh,
Meld
I
is
haven't. Meld is great. Very
so
excited
that
about Meld.
our new banking system.
Yes.
I mean, imagine having an app on your phone that you can swap your currency to 16 other currencies, being connected in over 140 countries. You can stake your meld on the blockchain. You could borrow
Yes.
against your crypto. I mean, the whole ecosystem can be so disruptive to our current banking system, putting the power back into the people's
In
hands.
in our hands, right? And
Right.
Cardano.
I love Cardano.
I
I love
know. I
Cardano,
know you do.
you know, and it's not so much about, making a ton of money. We make a ton of money. We're in it, right? We make a ton
Right.
of money, but let's make the world a better place. So
Right.
when I look at Cardano and the vision that they have of disrupting the government, how about putting voting on the blockchain?
Right.
Come on in. You know what I mean? Like, yes,
Right.
I'm psyched, and if it's not Cardano, it'll be we'll see who some of the winners are, but for sure,
If we put voting on the blockchain, we might actually have a true count.
we might have a true count
Have
and
a true count.
have a true count, because we know it's messed up. And
Hmm.
the other thing is, how about keeping politicians accountable?
Accountable.
So if somebody, if like whoever the president is says these are the top three priorities, put it in a smart contract, put it on the blockchain,
Exactly. And
right?
make it happen.
Keep it transparent for everybody to see, because right
Yes.
now our systems are not transparent. We are on a need to know basis.
Exactly.
Probably about a year ago, I listened to a meeting with the FDIC. Okay, so we all know we have FDIC insurance on our bank
Right.
accounts, and they were literally talking about not telling the American people, because the American people trust the banking systems more than the majority of people that were in that room.
Crazy.
Right. And then 3 months later, we saw the fall of Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank. There was a bunch of banks that just,
Yes.
are insolvent. So, and again,
Yes.
are banking systems stronger today? No. So we have
No.
no idea what's going on, but we do know that we can hold some Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of our favorite cryptocurrency projects outside of the central banks, our banking
Yes.
systems, corporations, governments. And it's just that level of sovereignty and that ease, it makes me sleep better at night, you know?
For sure. For
And
sure.
if I wake up tomorrow and all my accounts are frozen, I have money outside the system. I'll be able to
Exactly.
feed my family.
Like
Exactly.
I've never felt so good about what like I worked my whole life to develop a retirement, a savings, I have to remind you too. I sent you that in my fortune cookie the other day.
That's right. What did your
Shoot.
fortune cookie say?
Oh shoot, I don't have my phone right here. It is, let me grab it. It's on my uh-oh. Okay, no, I won't do that. It was something about you're gonna sit around with wealth and prosperity for if I go to my, I don't want to take you off Zoom and
Yeah.
in your old age. It was just really fitting. So I took a picture of it and sent it to you, but it was just very cool. But I've never felt so good. I mean, I had that money sitting there since 2020 when everyone thought the market was just going to go crazy. And I wanted to get in and get out, and I made a good profit, but I was afraid of it getting taken from me. So, just to do other investments. And then, well, I live in California, so it's not as though I can invest here. I invest in other states, but
Right.
it's been really good. So to the second smartest woman I know. You're the crypto woman I know, and then Don's my real estate.
I don't know
Guys are
about that.
so
I don't know if I'm the smartest one. I appreciate it. It's so sweet.
well
But
in crypto you are. So you're the best coach on, I think you're the very best coach on TAFF, and it's a great platform. It's wonderful.
I
So,
appreciate that.
well, I appreciate you. You're so good.
Woohoo.
Right? And
So,
then so what do you have coming? Like what do you think some of your future projects will be?
I mean, I think right now what I'm looking to do, just to be, we're always 100% transparent here. We've been talking about it. Ethereum is running. I think Ethereum has a very good chance. There's going to be a lot of hype now about this Ethereum spot
I think
ETF.
it's right behind Bitcoin now.
It's right behind Bitcoin. So how long is it going to take for them to file the paperwork for that and for Ethereum to get approved? We'll
Yes,
see. Doesn't have regulatory clarity. Bitcoin's a commodity. So we'll see if they approve it. They've had a free pass so far. They had
right,
the same they had the same like initial coin offering that Ripple had with XRP, but the SEC went after Ripple and
right.
not
And
right.
not, yes.
Things that make you go,
Crazy. Right, right. We'll
who's
see,
behind
right?
Ethereum, right?
Exactly.
So, it's hard to say, you know, the market's gone up so much this year. Is it because all of these really large asset managers
Right.
have
What's the
they
reasoning behind it? Are they dumping money in, or what's the real
right?
reason? Right,
So if Ethereum does go on a run, because when I look at the charts, I'm not an expert, but
right.
I'm looking
Not
at it.
financial advice.
We are not financial advisors. But like when I'm looking at the chart, if it hits around 3,500, I'll probably take some profits because historically, Bitcoin and the entire cryptocurrency market goes through a major retracement. The market corrects down right around the halving event, which is in April, and then we go on a run. Now, if Bitcoin closes at the end of the week, I don't know, above like 48, 50K, I'll have to relook at everything because it's never done that
It's
before.
it's a new president's.
Exactly. So it's kind of what I'm watching. We're pre-recording this on Thursday. We'll see what happens. But I do watch it. And I also just want to tell everyone, like, it is okay to take profits, right? People like me who are crazy, I mean, I have a majority of my cash in crypto. It's always good to take profits. It's good practice, especially when we do go into this full-fledged bull market. which I think
And see,
like this
that's what
time,
Andrew is that's what you're gonna help me on, is taking profits later, just
yeah,
so that maybe to get my investment back out and then maybe invest at the low when it does go down.
exactly. So it's kind of like, we dollar cost average in, we'll dollar cost average out.
Out.
And one, it's good practice. It's very hard to sell your crypto. It's like some emotional thing that everyone goes through.
I feel like that too. And I've
You,
never been so like, I've never looked at charts all day long. It's the craziest thing ever. And
right.
I still work, but like it's just so intoxicating. And then when I can't, I'm like, I can't even get on right now. I'm busy and but I want to.
Right.
So anyway,
Right. So it's just, again, it's good practice. And, you know, when you're an experienced investor, they tell you time and time again, if your money has doubled, take your initial investment out.
take your profit out. Okay.
Right. And we're going to be doing a big class for Take Action for Freedom and for Two Women in Crypto. So, a profit strategy class. Everyone's strategy is different.
I have to tell you too, on Take Action for Freedom, and I haven't even listened to all of them. And I got into it originally because Dawn recommended it. And so I signed up for the 3 months, and that was 6 months ago. But I stay on because your classes are amazing, and just the things you get out of them. And it's just, you guys are great. You, Robin, I mean, everything's so good on on the whole platform. And it teaches you all about, you can learn about crypto, you can learn about whatever you want to learn about, it's there. So I
Yeah.
do really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you for showing up and everyone who shows up every week. It is a
Yes.
beautiful group. We laugh, we have so much fun,
Yes.
and we're learning in the most positive way possible. I know the world is crazy. You know the world. We're alive,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So,
Right.
but like we also know that we're transitioning into a new paradigm. And during that shift, things get chaotic. They're confusing. There's so much fake news. There's just all of these things going on. It's just so good to come together as a group
Yes.
and silence all of that.
Well,
And
just
just,
because you do all the research and then we actually know what the real news is and not the fake news. So it's refreshing. It's so good. Not anyone who's doing you're not getting anything out of it except for when we do a coaching call or when we sign up for TAFF or, like things like that. But it's amazing. It's very refreshing. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. You are awesome. All right. So when we always wrap up our show, I know you listen to a bunch of podcasts, but as we close, I always like, my tagline that I say, right?
Oh, hodl on.
That's right. So
There you
until
go.
next week, everybody,
Thank you.
hodl on.